Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Jaina Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Saavadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitangscha Nama Shrestha Manamapi Sachiputra Atra Swarupam Rupam Tasya Graja Madhupurim Maturim Gostavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasam Prapto Jasya Pratita Kripaya Sri Gurun Tanmatosmi Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Shayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Shapandantikam Ananda Lilamaya Vigrahaya Himabhadivyachtavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
We have an email from Praneshwari Didi. Unfortunately, it is not mentioned from which part of the world. She's saying, Jai Nitai, thank you for your seva. I would like to ask Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj the following. Humble pranams to you, Maharaj. I've always thought that seva is eternal, but reading about Jaya and Vijaya being cursed to descend and take 3 births as demons, I wondered if their seva as doorkeepers of Lord Narayan was done by other devotees, or if they continued with their seva and simultaneously...
No, the gate was left open, and then so many people entered Vaikuntha. Sometimes Gurudev would say that by Mahaprabhu's movement, the gates of Vaikuntha have been opened, and everyone is being allowed entrance. Did it finish?
Yes.
Yeah,
so if they continue to...
So what we understand, as Srila Guru Maharaj has told us, see, it is unpalatable, unthinkable, as voiced by Parikshit Maharaj, that eternal servitors, Parshada associates of the Lord, can fall from that plane into this world. Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita is saying, having once gone, once entered that plane, and remember, it's not a geographic location, it's a plane of consciousness, of heart, the deepest heart's core. Right? So he's saying, once, which is the innate position of Jiva, Jive Swarupai Krishnera Nityadas. So he's saying, it's unthinkable that something like this could happen. Then, as Srila Guru Maharaj tells us, what he extracts from all the things described there, he said, it's only out of a necessity of Leela. So, the 4 Kumaras are glorified. See how Krishna's divine pastimes unfold and glorify the devotees, the process of devotion, by recalling such things. It's Krishna Katha, Hari Katha, liberates those who discuss, remember, Srinvanti Gayantri Grananti Sadhava, as told in the Bhagavatam, from Narada to Vyas. Describing these things, these divine pastimes of the Lord and His associates, this will be appreciated by the sadhus, right-thinking persons, in the language of Guru Maharaj, those who properly conceive reality, and simultaneously it will uplift the fallen souls who are forgetful of their innate spiritual identity and relationship with Krishna. Bhayam datiya binibeshitat syad ishadape tasya viparyayo smriti. This is all come about on forgetfulness of that fact. As when we go to sleep, you forget everything about your actual life. Right? And you're dreaming so many things, and it's so real. But upon awakening, it vanishes, and you realize it was nothing. And immediately upon waking, we could say we could analyze and say, well, there's a gradual process to transition from the dream world. Within that plane, the sadhus mercifully descend and they broadcast the message of the Lord. It catches our attention. By their association and service, we get some sukriti, from agyata to gyata, from unknowing contact with the nirguna plane to knowing and willful participation for our betterment, and then gradually coming out, transitioning out of the dream world into the being awake in the world of our eternal prospect. So many things can be said about that. But the actual position, Mahaprabhu says to Sanatana Goswami. Remember, Sanatana and Mahaprabhu himself, in answering the question, says, Sanatana, you're not that person. Everything is known to you. But this is your mercy. Yat kripam paraduka duki sanat. Your only unhappiness is seeing those suffering for want of Krishna consciousness. So, and you have no man, abhiman, the man shunyata, the absence of the ego, that you want everyone to think that you're so great and you know so much and you're the guru of the 6 Goswamis. Although Guru Maharaj points out, he himself says somewhere, he considers himself a Rupanuga, but Rupa Goswami considers Sanatan Guru, Raghunath Rupa, Sanatan. It's very beautiful, their mutual appreciation and love and respect for one another. But so Mahaprabhu, before directly answering Sanatan's question, he says, you know everything, and this is not, you're not that person that you're describing, but it is very important for everyone else to hear these things, and that's why you're doing this. So he offers so much praise to him. And really, we know Sanatana Goswami Prabhu is the Bhakti Siddhanta Acharya. He's the Acharya of Sambandha Gyan, means understanding our relationship. Abhideya being then what to do, and prayojan, the ultimate result, achievement. So Sanatana Goswami Prabhu, through the medium of the Brihad Bhagavatamritam, he's delineating all these levels of devotion, right? But, so the talk begins with Sanatana Goswami saying, Ke ami, kene amoy, jare tapitroy, iha nahi jane, kemone hito hoy. Very sweet. We were talking about the Bengali. Ke ami, who am I? And why am I suffering from the threefold miserable conditions? And then he says, and if I don't know this, then how can I know what to do, or what's good for me, or what's not? What's hita? Hita means beneficial. So if I don't know these things, and he also says, and actually, I don't know even really what to ask. Sadhya and sadhana, I don't know what the means are or what the goal. I don't know any of these things, but you are so merciful. And see, that's our position. We don't even know the right questions to ask. We're that deep into the dream. Right? We don't know the right questions to ask. Right? Like when Guru Maharaj heard Prabhupada had a book called Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers, he said, perfect questions? And someone once objected when I said, the most important thing is the answer. The question may not be perfect, but the answer we should give our full attention to. Sometimes an improperly expressed question may draw out the most perfect answer from a qualified person. But Sanatana Goswami's questions are perfect. And so he's saying this, please be merciful to me and answer these things. And remember, he says, Tapa Troy. That means the threefold miseries, but top also means like burning. You know, when you're suffering from being burned. As we know, thinking in light of the present situation, when Yudhisthira Maharaj is encountered with Yamaraj, who's posing as a bird, but not an ordinary bird, of course. And they're having a discussion, and four things are mentioned. One is, what's the news of this world? What's the wonder or most astonishing thing about it? What's the third? What is the path out of it, really? And what is happiness? And it's interesting that those things are being asked by Yamaraj of Yudhisthira Maharaj. So, this concept of tapatroy, being boiled alive, in essence, by the threefold miseries. Fried. That's what Guru Maharaj said. In a cauldron. The jiva, in a cauldron, being fried by these three miserable conditions. Adi-atmic, adi-bautic, and adi-devic. Adi-atmic, self-induced miseries, and the mind. We know from psychiatry how much people suffer mentally. Right? Even the American transcendentalist Thoreau, he said, the mass lead lives of quiet desperation. Now, adhyatmic, self-induced miseries, self-induced suffering. Adibhotic, from other living beings. And adidevic, what used to be called supernatural causes, acts of God, hurricanes, what are the, earthquakes, natural disasters. So he's saying, why am I, no matter how I try to reconfigure my life and my life in this world, I'm still subjected to these miserable conditions. As I mentioned, there's a theater called The World, and they have a marquee, and someone must have, with some irony, put up, what they posted on the marquee was factually true, but it was a double entendre, so it said, the world is temporarily closed. So that's amusing, but would it were true, what happened is, because the world is not closed, people think what's closed or reduced somewhat are their karmic activities in different ways. And to them, that is the world. As Saraswati Thakur said in one place, he said, what what we call the world, that is what is troubling us at present. Right? So one day, sometimes people wake up and realize, have some epiphany about their mortality. Right? But it's random or sporadic, depending on where they are in the life cycle and things like that. Right? But what happened, in a sense, is that everyone woke up on the same day with the same realization about their mortality. Right? And as one, witty writer said about his own bout with cancer, he said, it's always described in these terms of that this person, he's a real fighter, he's going to fight this, And he said, it's as if to say, when they finally pass away, said, he passed away after a long struggle with mortality. Right? So this principle is there. Mortality, the great theme of art, right? Memento mori, reminding us, no matter what situation you have in this world, it can be finished instantly. Can't have so much movement. Right? So, why did I say that? Because, pardon me?
Memento mori.
Yes. So it's a great theme in art and literature, and also spiritually speaking. And as Guru Maharaj said, it is the problem that we have to face. To not deal with it is cowardice. To deal with it takes some courage, to recognize that. So he's saying that's the news of the world. Right? And this said, and literally it's the news of the world. And at present, it's the news of the world that impending mortality, right? And this has everyone naturally upset, and they should be, because the soul is eternal, so it is anathema for the soul to contemplate its extinction. But so he says, that's the news of the world. It was the news of the world, 6 months ago, 6 years ago, 6,000 years ago, 6 million years ago. And it's the news today, and it'll be the news tomorrow. That's the news of this world, is that you cannot remain here. Right? You'll have to leave it. And in one place, Prabhupada says the purpose of human life is, he said, is to successfully terminate human existence. Right? If you're going in the right direction, it's the successful termination, because the termination is inescapable. He said, so that's the news. Then in terms of wonder or astonishment, he says, ahan yahani bhutani gachantiha yamalayam shesha stavra ichchanti kim ascharja atakparam. He said, I can't think of anything more, ascharja means astonishing, amazing, than this, that everyone before us has died, everyone at present will die. We see death all around us, and again, it's more prominent at this particular moment. It's inescapable, this sort of news. And he's saying, so in consideration of that, and certainly we will die, right? We know that. He said, but somehow we're thinking it'll be someone else. The person who is infected or succumb, it'll be someone else. Somehow we will escape that. He said, I can't. So it's the world of mortality. Even on Google, and I'm just using these numbers to use some numbers, they say there have been, 100 billion people right? Veda will say something different than that, but let's just use that as a metric. 100 billion or trillion, whatever it is, people so far, I think it's 100 billion, they believe have lived and died. All of them, except for the present 7 or 8, have died. And in various parts of the world. That means we're not only figuratively, but we're literally living in a cemetery, a crematorium, a graveyard. Right? So these things, and still hoping against hope, holding out that it won't be me. Right? Right? He's saying, so what's more wonderful than that? And then in terms of patayo, the path, so then where do you find the path out of this plane? And again, remember, we're not talking about geographic locations, right? Really, you could say ontological GPS. So then what does he say? Where's the path out and to that gate that was left open by the Jai and Vijay? So you can sneak into Vaikuntha while they're absent. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena gata sapanta. Saying the real path, way is nihitam guhayam. He said it's hidden in the hearts of the Mahajans. Right? That's where you'll find it. Right? Hridayeno binu gyato yodharmasta nibodhata. And in their present, our heart resonates with, Tene Brahma Hrida, the first sloka of the Bhagavatam, describing heart-to-heart transmission. Right? Krishna is not heartless, he's the Lord of love. Right? It's not the transfer of gyan. Dibya gyan means becoming aware of the heart's loving potential. Right? So, Tene Brahma Hrida, Hridayena, again, heart. Hridayena binu gato yodharmasta nibodhata. We will recognize that. But where is it found? Nihitam guhayam, in the hearts of the Mahajan. Mahajano yena gata sapanta. Follow, the path is to follow them. Guru Maharaj sometimes said, they are like lighthouses that help one cross the ocean of nescience. Right? We know the lighthouse guides the ships. They're playing through the water. They see the lighthouse. Then on the basis of that, they know how to chart their course. And it's saying, and at the same time, their footsteps, in a sense, that you follow that. When you see these are their footsteps, these are the steps they've taken, you follow that. Right? That is Mahajano Yena Katasa Panta. And I can think in my own life, in spiritual life, that when a very crucial point came, and I had to make a decision, life-altering, spiritual life-altering decision, not just a life-altering decision. And one person, a friend of mine, he said, we're at the Mott with Srila Guru Maharaj, and he said, but there is one seer. You understand? Seer, S-E-E-R, means like a mystic, in this place. And he said, and some leaders go and they hear, and he, I really think you should, run this by him, and see what he has to say, And so I was seduced by this, And to make matters worse, it was in the midst of Brihaspati Barbela, like Thursday afternoon. So bad timing, the wrong person, the wrong place, the wrong time for the wrong, everything wrong. Then we crossed the river. But the good thing that happened, being in Swananda Sukhada Kunj, like, he had to find this person, so he left me on a rickshaw to go get this person. And when I was there, the environment overwhelmed me, and I felt totally liberated from all mundane consideration. So I was ready to go back. Just the beauty and the home comfort of Swananda Sukhada Kunj Godrum. I should have listened to my better angels. But then, so I was hoping like he will not be there now because I feel wonderful. But he comes back out and says, oh, he can see, and this person is sitting beneath a picture of Ma Kali and chewing pan and smoking. And I'm thinking, like, oh my God. I should have said the person who took me there was a Bengali. It makes more sense that way. But anyway, so he gives some advice. And the reason I'm telling this is because it's a particular advice that I will follow, but not because it's coming from him. It's basically like, go this way or not. So it's like, go this particular way. So then this whole experience is, besides the wonderful environment of Godruma, is like polluting. And we come back, and the next morning I'm with Srila Guru Maharaj, and as Srila Madhusudan Maharaj knows very well, nothing happens at Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat that is unknown to Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Guru Maharaj. So the next time, but Guru Maharaj is so kind and also tactful and expert. So he doesn't say anything about it. But he starts giving me a talk about Mahajano Yena Kata Sapanta, this verse, that we follow the advice of the Mahajans. You understand? Guru Maharaj is the Mahajan in this example. And this is why I mention this, that let's say, just for the sake of simplicity, that both are saying to go in this particular direction. So I had this realization, if you want to call it that. It suddenly occurred to me. Do I want to move in the world under the influence of that man at the feet of Ma Kali? Like, why I will be going, it will be because what I heard from him, right? Or an astrologer, or something along those lines. Right? It's an enemy to faith. So, but I realize I want to proceed under the guidance and direction of Srila Guru Maharaj. That will be the basis of my movement. Then I'm free, and I'm happy, and I'm on the right path. Otherwise, doing the same activities under the influence of someone who is not divine, it's money, doing the very same things, then it's polluted. It's not Shuddha Bhakti, it's karma, or nice karma, detrimental. Right? So that's the importance of following the Mahajans Right? Not the people of this world and their opinions. Right? We're always, to a certain degree, influenced by what we hear. That's why I say it's about competing narratives. One is divine descending, Srotapanta, from the upper world, descending into this plane. And another one is coming from the mud of misunderstanding. And both competing for the most valuable thing that we have, the soul. What is her most valuable possession? Shraddha, faith. To move in the faithful plane, under the guidance of Mahajan, Guru and Sadhu, Shastra, Guru and Vaishnav. There's this nice saying that perhaps Narottam, it says, Sakala Charya Bai Shraddha Devir Gunagai. Oh, my dear brothers, give up everything, give up all of this. And listening to this person, that person, and just sing the glories of Shraddha Devi. Sakala Charya Bai Shraddha Devir Gunagai. Then you're in a safe position. Right? So that's the path, right? Is to follow the Mahajans, their advice. Right? Asraya loya bhajitari Krishna nahi tyaje akarani karana marani gelo. Narottam saying, don't even try to go to Krishna direct. Take shelter as devotee. Then automatically you have Krishna's backing. Right? As stated by Krishna himself. Those who say they're my devotees directly, they're not my devotees. My real devotees are devotees of my devotees. Who are his devotees? Nanda Yashoda, Lalita Vishaka, Srimati Radharani, Subal Sri. These are, and Krishna is most happy when they're being praised. What is that? Bhagavata Dharma, na prayena nirupita, tadeva paramahangsanam, no, priya paramahangsanam, tadeva hyachuta priya, narda to Vyas, or Vyas acknowledging that I did not glorify Achyuta Priya. I didn't say properly, Krishna, or who is Achyuta? Who is most dear to Krishna? Kintu Prabhoya Priya eva tasya, Prabhu Priya. Who is the one who is most dear to the Lord? Saying, oh, I need to sing her glories to the world. What did Mahaprabhu descend in the world? To sing her glories. And that means Krishna. Like when I mentioned the other day his dilemma in leaving the world, think of Krishna or Mahaprabhu. We should be blessed with such a dilemma. But it was a foregone conclusion, Mahaprabhu. And when he asked me of the books that we published for him, which is your favorite, I didn't know what to say. Especially, I didn't want to say the wrong one. So I was like, frozen. And Guru Maharaj, he said like a blushing teenager who's in love with someone. He said, golden volcano. Again, Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. So, why did I say that? Because,
following the path of Mahajan.
yes, but I said about leaving the world and who you're thinking of, and the Bhagavatam. There's a reason I mentioned this. What was before?
Vedavyas.
Yes, but I was talking about.
Yudhishthir.
No, that's way back.
Way back.
Achyuta Priya,
Yeah.
glorifying, Krishna, saying to glorify the devotees, to take shelter of his devotees. So that's the path. right? And just to conclude that part, Guru Maharaj's sloka, Yadamiyam Mahima Sri Bhagavatam Katayam Pratipadam Anubhutam Abhyalabdavideya Tadakila Rasamurti Shamalila Avalambam Madhura Rasadi Sri Radha Pada Padmam Prapade. I was making the point that this is the message of the Bhagavatam, is to take shelter of the devotee and to proceed under the guidance of the devotee. And it leads to the service of the holy lotus feet of the supreme devotee, Sri Radhika. Right? So it's not, there's one connecting thread going through all of this. Right? And it's taking us to a particular plane. So then the news, what's astonishing, wonderful, the path, then who is happy? So ostensibly it says, well, one who doesn't owe anyone anything is happy. Right? He may not have this, but he doesn't owe anything. That's a happy person. But that's in an external sense about this world. Like yeah. So, but in the Bhagavatam, where real happiness is described, otherwise known as Krishna consciousness, which is an extension of the heart of Srimati Radharani. Right? It says, Devarshi Bhutaptan Rinam Pitrinam Nakinkaro Nayani Charada. Says that one who is a devotee of Krishna, only such a person doesn't owe anyone anything. So only such a person can actually be happy. Because happiness is Krishna. Krishna is happiness. It's not a separate thing. He's Anandamurti. That's one of his names. Anandamurti. He's the personification. He's happiness person. He's Rasaraj. The Vedanta, Anandamayo Vyasat, the absolute by nature, is joyful. Somebody's saying, reality is for itself and by itself. You're like, oh, that seems so selfish. But what is his nature? Anandamaya. He's ecstasy personified, and his default position is distributing that ecstasy to others. That's for himself, is to Krishna. Krish, by his inconceivable beauty, Yang Shama Sundaram Achinta Gunas Rupam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. That Krishna, who is more beautiful and seductively charming and attractive than 10 million cupids condensed into one, right? Krish, he's attracting, we're all being irresistibly drawn in attraction towards the central conception of the infinite, the golden mean of the infinite, the human-like infinite. Right? Na, Krishna means then he is distributing that ecstasy. Right? But again, I think, well then, why would I want anyone mediating between me and Krishna? Or creating any sort of opacity between me and who you say, Krishna Nama Sidhu, well that's Krishna's Nam, Sidhudam, but Krishna, ecstasy personified. The pure devotee, the Shuddha Vaishnava, has no opacity. And not only is there's no opacity, but the higher up in the hierarchy is the greater capacity to interact and extract from Krishna. So as Krishna is Rasaraj, Srimati Radharani is Mahabhav. Right? Notice their names are different. The supreme positive, the supreme negative. She can extract the highest quantity and the highest quality of rasa from Krishna. And Hladini Pushti, she is nourishing her group with that. So when the devotees rightfully say, take shelter of the devotee, give all your serving capital there, not only are they correct, but that is the best strategy, if we want to use such a word. Right? One-on-one, what is the finite's capacity to interact with the infinite? But if the infinite has a counterpart of equal status, that as everyone is irresistibly drawn in attraction to Krishna, is there someone whom Krishna is irresistibly drawn and attracted to? It would have to be someone who is his equal or unthinkably superior in particular aspect to capture him, to capture the infinite. Right? That is the position of Srimati Radharani. Shyamalila Avalambam. And the sweetest, most mysterious pastimes of Krishna are all dependent upon her and her serving group. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhi Stabhirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalavi Goloka Eva Nivisat Akhilatma Bhuto Govinda Mari Purusham. As Krishna expands, she's expanding. As the Brajagopis, the queens of Dwarka, the Lakshmis of Vaikuntha, yet they have their individual distinct personalities. That's a Chintya Beda Bed. Right? So when we say, it sounds like a simple expression, take shelter of the devotee, or serve under the guidance of a devotee. Right? But who is a devotee is a very broad question. We hear 3 different levels that we may conceive, the Kanishtam, Madhyam, Uttam. But when we talk about that plane, as Guru said, the Guru world, where everyone is Guru, including the soil there. The soil is Guru in the Guru world. And Guru Maharaj cautions us. He said, then how can you put one foot into that plane if the soil is Guru? Only out of a service necessity. It's not for tourists. Okay? It's, and Saraswati Thakur's word, spiritual life, it's a one-way ticket. It's not a return ticket. You're not going somewhere and then returning to your former position. But there's a wholesale transformation and transition from this plane to that plane. And only one who is one in interest with the plane and Krishna and his devotees is given entrance there. And why? As Guru said, passport is insufficient, visa is required. When someone applies for a visa, it's understood their aspiration to enter that country. But they're only given a visa not based upon that aspiration solely, but they're given a visa when that country decides it's in their interest to allow you to enter. That's different. So it's the Seva Mayoyam Loka. It's constructed not only of Chinmoy or consciousness, but consciousness enriched with dedicating tendency, and then accordingly degrees of dedication is the stratification of the spiritual world. And so from Vaikuntha to Ayodhya to Dwaraka, Mathura, Vrindavan, Govardhan, Radhakunda, Tata, the bank and the waters. Right? As Guru says, there's gradation everywhere and everything. So what would qualify one to enter that plane is an expansion of service. When Guru Maharaj would ask Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, why does he sing his songs and slokas? Meaning, they're the songs of the great acharyas and so many other, but some of the first times I ever heard Premadama Stotram and Nikhila Bhuvanamaya on the lips of Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj saying, why do you do this? And Babaji Maharaj said, because I find them to be the same quality as Rupa Goswami. And it was Babaji Maharaj, Jajavar Maharaj, accompanying Guru Maharaj and others, when Guru Maharaj went back to his birthplace, Hapania, after so many years, Gurudev there as well, and his godbrothers, Jajavar Maharaj and Babaji Maharaj, said, we consider this place Barshana. That type of regard for Guru Maharaj, like Radharani's delegation, and a godbrother. So then I thought of that, and I heard Guru Maharaj say that many times, and for years, I always appreciated it, but I thought, what if I was asked to prove it or to demonstrate it? I go, the Chaitanyastakam of Srila Rupa Goswami, Raso Dama Kamar Buddha Madhura Damojula Tanur, Jati Nam Utangshis Tarani Vidyoti Vasana, Hiranyanam Lakshmi Varana Bivavanga Angika Rucha, Sat Chaitanya Devaskritira Titaram Na Kripayatu. Or Sat Chaitanya Kame Dusora Pidusora Yashati Padam. Now, here, he's talking about the sweetness of the inconceivable sweet beauty of the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Sundar. It says, Raso Dama Kamar Buddha Madhura Damojula Tanur. It's so beautiful. Raso Dama Kama Ar Buddha. 10 million cupids and full-blown cupidity. And he says, Raso Dama Kamar Buddha Madhura Ujjvala, like shining, resplendence, Damojjvala Tanur. This is the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right. Then, what do we say in the Premadama Deva Stotram? Svarnakoti Darpanava Deha Varna Gauravam. Like 10 million brilliant shining mirrors of gold. Then Padma Parijata Gandha Banditanga Sauravam. Koti Kami Murchitangri Rupa Rasa Rangaram. Premadama Deva Meva Nome Gaura Sundaram. So Rupa Goswami, like 10 million cupids in full-blown cupidity, and I'm repurposing that word. Here he says, Koti Kami Murchitangri Rupa Rasa Rangaram. 10 million cupids will faint to see the beauty of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Now we can understand why he is in that plane. He's expanding. It's an expansion of Krishna consciousness and of ecstatic substance. How pleased will be his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Rupa Goswami Prabhu himself, to hear what he's seated in Chaitanyastakam, seated, then Guru Maharaj is taking that and expressing it in a new way. So, and this underscores a question, the answer to a question I myself had, that I was saying, how, we're these finite jivas, and we're being told in the prospect of, we said earlier, the infinite coming under the control of the finite. We don't think of the great devotees as finite. but this principle, the coming under the control of the devotee. Let me think. That's almost shocking to think of in application. And Rupa Goswami is saying, outlining the characteristics of pure devotion, saying, a drop of this Krishna Bhakti, Sri Krishna Karshinisha, is capable of attracting Krishna. I think all attractive Krishna can be attracted because to devotion in the heart of, it's almost unthinkable, but he's telling us that. And if we think of it, if really it's a reflection of the heart of Srimati Radharani, then that's also inconceivable, but then we can understand Krishna's being irresistibly drawn. But then I thought, and again, I don't think of Guru Maharaj as finite, but then I thought, first, what really can we offer? We have nothing. We sang in the song every day, Yogyata vichare kichu nahi pai, tomara koruna. If you examine me, I have nothing. But you're so merciful, you can take this nothing and make it something. So, let me think, could we really contribute something in that plane? And we don't have the audacity to say that ourselves, but our Guru Varga is saying, yes. They can see this, Jive Swarupai Krishnara Nityadas. That is your position. You can be a contributing agent in that plane. When Udoy, this Krishna Bhakti Nitya Siddha Sadhu Kabanoy Shravanadi Shuddha Chite Koraye Udoy is awakened when we hear from the Vaishnavas. As we told in Israel, hearing those divine pastimes of the Lord and His devotees, some delight and some sense of prospect is awakened in our heart. That's your connection with that plane. So, however small that appreciation might be. Back to Narada and Vyas. When Narada is telling Vyas, giving the orders and the summary in 10 slokas of what the Bhagavatam will be, his magnum opus, the Mahapurana, the Super Purana, the ultimate work of Veda Vyas. One of the things he tells them is Tyaktva Swadharmam Charanam Bhujam Harer Bhajana Pakva Patetato Yadi. He said, even if someone, they give up everything, take the Krishna consciousness, but due to a lack of maturity, or you could say immaturity, or not achieving maturity, they go down, or how do you say, deviate, become distracted. He's saying, what they got in that, however momentary, their connection with this plane, it is so potent, right? Divine to the highest magnitude, that the least connection with that plane, he said, that is of infinite more value than, Janma Koti Sukritarna Labhyate, than 10 million births of doing the right thing in the mundane world. And he further says, and such a person will never be just like, the so-called karmis of this world. He's saying because they'll always be remembering that little taste they had of Krishna consciousness. They won't be able to forget it. It may become suppressed for some time. It will rise to the surface again under the connection with nirguna agents. He's saying, so to the argument, and it's similar to what Arjuna says in Bhagavad Gita, well, I devote all my energy, time, and resources to the cultivation of Krishna consciousness, and I neglect this world, and then I don't achieve Krishna consciousness completely, and I didn't develop myself materially. Now I'm unemployed. And I'm not really Krishna conscious. I mean, it's more or less like that. When I was in Jamaica with Giriraj Swami, we're staying in this Indian man's house, and they always give you we have like the son's room. These people are millionaires, and I see there's this picture on the wall of, like Krishna and Arjun's like this, he's confused, and Krishna is instructing Arjun, and one day he's visiting, and we would use that as our base and go out preaching, and one day the father comes to me and reveals that his son is reluctant to take up the family business and everything. So, but I told him, like, Lord says to Arjun, get a job. I'm saying that's a karma yoga explanation I've yet to hear. Get a job. And Arjun's like, and Krishna, and I said, is that what he's saying? So, but what is the answer? Nahi kalyanakrit kaschid durgatim tatagacchati, which Guru Maharaj parses very beautifully, saying, sincerity is invincible. For one who is sincere, they will be victorious. It says kalyan, that means auspicious. Nahi kalyanakrit kaschid durga, and durga means obstacle. Durgatim tataka. They'll overcome all these things on the basis of their sincerity. So many things can be said, but it all comes down to this one thing, to be sincere. And Guru Maharaj would say, if I am sincere, then no one can deceive me. Only I can deceive me. We don't have to worry about others. What we need to worry about is self-deception. Right? So, so Narada to Vyas on this point. And what was I saying before that? Being under the guidance, I think, Sadhu, Shastra, Guru, and Vaishnav. Guru Maharaj said, accepting Radharani's suggestion as it's descending in this world through the Guru Parampara. So, whatever we read or hear or see, we have to interpret along the lines of those who have a view of the whole. As when Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in one place, all the Vedas sing the glories of Radharani and say Krishna is the exclusive possession of Radharani and her girlfriends. And we're saying, that's what the Vedas are saying. And I asked Gurudev about it. He said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur can say this because he has a view of the whole. That tree, the Veda Kalpavriksha, of which Vedanta is the floral essence that gives way to the fruit, which is the Bhagavatam. So the Vedas, without the fruit, or without considering the fruit, you are one branch going this way, another branch, and you're being misled by your apparent interpretation of these various branches. It doesn't matter that one's going this way and one's going. They're all meant to do one thing, is to produce this inconceivably, nectarine fruit. Nigama kalpataror galitam palam shukamukharam ritradava samyatam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bububalukaha. And that's what the Bhagavatam is delivering in 1, 2, 3, those first 3 slokas. Right? So, when we read some section, like as Purikat Maharaj said, I can't believe that from the eternal Parshadas of the Lord, they will fall into this world. And he said, well, Guru Maharaj, out of a necessity of Leela. So then we understand that assuming the forms of asuras, that's their seva, right? And there are, how do you say, the other gatekeepers can, how do you say, be promoted to that seva in their absence. Also, they can maintain forms here and both places. That's also possible. But what do we see is that I think is more interesting and compelling is that their service is to provide opposition for Krishna. Right? As when the king wants to spar, mock fight, they don't take a man from the street, but someone who's part of his entourage, and then they can spar with the king. But in case of Krishna, it has to be very realistic. They can't be holding back. They have to give everything they have. Right? And so, and what does it allow for? Again, the glorification of the Lord, His avatars, incarnations, descending in this world to rescue the fallen souls. So, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, so Varaha and Nrsingadev, two avatars. Kumbhakarna and who is it? Ravana. Yeah. So the Ramayan, Ram avatar, and then Dantavakra and Shishupal in Krishna Lila. And if that wasn't enough, we're told they appear again in Gaur Lila as Jagai and Madhai. So then now through this lens, we begin to see how special they are and how they can contribute and expand the pastimes. And then in that sense, we can understand why they are selected. Right? Hare Krishna. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajaka Acharya Satara Sata Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Saparikar Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Jiu Ki Jai.
Jai.
Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai.
Jai.
Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Jai and Vijay Ki Jai. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Govinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Sri Gupta Govardhan Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Jamuna Devi Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Vishva Varenya Srilesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Bhimavadut Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Sri Bhakti Lalita Devi Dasi Ki Jai. Jai Sriman Paramananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Seva Vrinda Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Go Premanande.
Haribo. Jai Vishnu Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And now we know that Pranashwari Didi is from Miami.
Hare Krishna. Or Prabhupada would say Miami.
Miami. So we have also Dandavas from Suchitra Didi, Leela Sundari Didi, Australia, Dhananjaya Prabhu, Rome, Madhavi Didi, Atula Krishna Prabhu, Hungary, Dhananjaya Prabhu, Russia. Arjun Prabhu, Madhavendu Prabhu, Belarus, Ukraine. Anusuya Didi, Gaura Shakti Prabhu, Adelaide, Australia. Duty Krishna Didi, Melbourne. Tapanandini Didi, Shyama Didi, Ukraine. Nityanandaram Prabhu, Colombia. Adityanandan Prabhu, UK. Praneshwari Didi, Ajita Krishna Prabhu, Russia. Madhu Gopal Das, Dandavat Maharaj, Premarupa.
You said Aditi Nandan Prabhu in the UK?
Adityanandan Prabhu, UK.
Hare Krishna.
And Premarupa Reverencias Maharaja.
Hare Krishna. That sounds like Castilian Espanol.
I did my best.
You did pretty good, I think.
Tarulata Didi, Minsk, from Lila Sudhir Prabhu. Dandavats to Maharaj.
Lila Sudha?
Lila Sudhar. Maybe.
Sundar.
Maybe it is
From
misspelled. Ukraine, I suspect. Yes,
I think it's Lila
Ukraine.
Sundar in Ukraine. Yeah.
Lila Sundar. Dandavats to Maharaj and devotees from the Govinda land. Now here 30 plus devotees from the Kiev and all over the Ukraine.
Hare Krishna. Wow.
Prem Narayan Prabhu, Ashapurna Didi,
Dandavad.
then Alessandra F. Da Costa, Dandavats, and Anjali Devi, Dandavats.
Dandavad. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Guru. Vancha Kavaturu Sakri Pasanda Devacham. Patitanam Pavanevya Vaishnavya Namo Namaha. Was he saying they went from Kiev to Govindaland?
Yes, he
Like
said
they're
they
having a
gathered-
festival. Maharaj,
they-
it's like Vyas Puja festival.
They had
How
gathering.
far is it from Kiev? 4 hours or 1 hour?
I can check it on Google Map, but
I think it's not only for festival, it's for a long time.
Oh, okay.